But many times I'd go do 2 massages and then I just go right to the water. I had my boogie board, loved it. Now, I would still only get up to my waist deep. And I used to use the excuse, and this is actually a legitimate excuse if you're boogie boarding, if you're trying to catch those in shallow waves, if you're too deep, if you're like chest deep, right, you can't get enough leverage when you jump on the board to catch the wave. The deepest you really want to be is waist deep. But still, the little voice in my head, in my gut, Jaws is going to get you. Jaws is waiting. Don't go out there. Don't go out there where the surfers are. Jaws is waiting for you. So every year I get a little bit more comfortable, right? First year, I was willing to go knee deep. Second year, it's probably just above the knee. Okay. Then I had a couple more years where it's like, okay, I'm willing to be waist deep if it's not too rough. If it's just flat and then you got the one big wave at the end because you kind of see everything. And I've been fishing my whole life, right? I know better than to be out there, in chest deep water or even waist deep water when it's rough and sandy. They call that water sharky. Okay. When the water looks sharky, it's not smart. So I did this for a number of years and that voice never stopped. Don't go out there. Jaw's going to get you. Don't do it. Jaw's going to get you, man. He's waiting for you. He's waiting for you. So this one particular day, I was probably 42 years old by now. This one particular day, what I would do is I would get there. I'd boogie board for about a half hour, 45 minutes, take a break, lay down, drink some water, go back out for maybe another 20 minutes, come back, take a break, and then close it up with like another 10 minutes, right? So I had already done like my 45 minutes worth, and I come back and I'm sitting there and I'm eating whatever I'm eating, drinking, I don't know. And all of a sudden, a bunch of kids got there, kids in their 20s, whatever, right? And they all just, I don't know, half dozen of them, maybe 6, 8, a couple of girls mixed in, and they all got their surfboards and they just all head out. And I said, you know what? That's it. This is stupid. I've had enough. I've had enough of this. I'm going out there. Now, how I had gotten myself over the fear was, well, there's only one. I can only say it exactly how it was, because to say it some other way would sound stupid. But how I got over the fear was when I get into the water, I would just get kind of angry in the sense that, like, if a piece of seaweed, like in the past, if a piece of seaweed had brushed up against my leg, I'd be like, oh, what is that? You know what I mean? Now, if a piece of seaweed hit me, I'd be like, fuck you. That's how I did it. Everything that hit me, that, a piece of seaweed, if I thought I saw something, maybe I just been talking to myself, trying to work myself down from the fear, I would, fuck you. That's what I would say to whatever was trying to stop me from being in the water. So these kids show up, they all head out to go surfing, all of them. And I can't do this anymore. This is so stupid. I'm 42 years old. I should be over this fear by now. And the little voice that was always there saying, Jaw's going to get you. Jaw's going to get you. I didn't hear anything. I said, okay, we're doing this. We're doing this. So grab my boogie board, heading on out. So I'm standing there, and now I can still stand, right? Because, floating on a boogie board, it's not the same. I don't have a surfboard. But I went out there as far as I could to where I'm still standing, and my collarbone is covered, okay? I'm just ahead. And it does make it more difficult to try to catch a wave that way, but I wasn't going to use that excuse today. I figured if I go through this and I can actually be out here and enjoy myself, then I'll buy a proper surfboard and do that. So I'm out there. It wasn't particularly rough, right? But there was enough waves. I'm trying to catch them. I'm not having as much success because, again, trying to surf on a boogie board, it's not the same thing, but it was more about just the experience of being out there. Now, wasn't that far from the kids. I want to stay out of their way a little bit. You don't want to just be like right in front of their wake where they're going to go. So I wasn't quite as far out, but I was far out enough. So I catch this one wave, and it brings me to where now at this point I'm like nipple high, right? And I said, okay, I've proven that I'm willing to go out, neck deep. But if I'm this shallow, it should be a little bit easier for me to catch a wave. So I'm looking this way, and I'm looking to the left, and I'm looking to the right, and I'm looking to the left, I'm looking to the right. And this one particular time, I look over to my right, and I see a really, really big, dark shadow. And he's 30 feet away, 40 feet away, big, dark shadow. I don't see a fin, just a big, long, dark shadow. And what I did was I said, fuck you, like that. And I proceeded to pretend that I didn't see what I saw. And I started looking for another wave. And then about a 6-foot bull shark ran right into me, flipped me completely. I went completely 360 degrees. He hit my right hip, flipped me. I went all the way back, landed, standing up, and then as he swam off, she, I don't know, right? But the point is that as the shark swam off, I felt something on my leg. I'm standing there, and I'm standing now. Now I'm standing there. I got my board, and I'm just standing there, and I'm rewinding and fast forwarding. I'm like, did that happen? Rewind, play it again, rewind, play. That happened, and I saw the same shadow just swimming off and making a turn, like he was thinking about coming back. I said, I should probably start walking in now. Again, I hadn't made a sound. I mean, I'm probably white as a ghost at this point, right? Because I'm standing there and I'm realizing that Jaws was waiting for me. The whole time. He really was just waiting for me. I've come out here once. I've been out here for 5 minutes. And the son of a bitch was waiting for me. So I walk in, and I don't get completely out of the water. I'm standing like ankle deep. And again, I'm just rewinding it and playing it, rewinding it and playing it. And I couldn't get over the fact that it was real. I said, well, he was waiting for me. He was really waiting for me. So then I started to think, if I don't get back in this water now, even just the boogie board, I knew I'd never get back in. So if I don't get back into this water now, I'm gonna not be able to get back in. So I said, okay, I'm gonna get back in and boogie board. And I reached down to grab a board, and I looked at my right leg, and there's blood just streaming out of me. And I guess what happened was when he hit me, and when I flipped and I landed, as he must have got me with his tail. He must have done a swish with his tail to get away from me before he started coming back. But he must have slashed me with his tail because I don't have a scar from it because it wasn't really deep, but it was like a good 6-inch cut, and the blood was just gushing out. And I'm like, well, I can't go back in like this. So I sat down on my towel, and I just patted it, and it wasn't deep. I didn't need to get stitches or anything. I could tell that. But I waited till it had dried and everything was done there, probably about 10, 15 minutes. And then I did eventually. I went back in. I went back in. I boogie boarded after that. I never went back out there where the surfers are. No, I mean, he gave me a warning shot. That's cool. I appreciate that. He's like, I can't believe this dumbass. We've been telling you for 35 years not to come out here. Huh? And you come out here, dude, come on, here. Knock you on your ass. I'll give you a little cut so you make sure that you know it wasn't your imagination. Okay? There. You're bleeding from a shark. Stay the hell out of here. You're allowed to be over there where you're boogie boarding. Stay the hell out of our area over here with the surfers. These guys are already allowed to surf because they probably got ate by a shark in some previous lifetime. So when I opened up a Twitter account, I did out Jawsaholic, and that's why everybody calls me Jaws.